All right, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kudas. I'd like to give the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say shalom to the elect that's teaching His word on true faith and sincerity. And today, pretty much, I'm going to go into a swift lesson titled The Great Earthquake, which that's going to take place by the way of the Third World War. And as you can see at these times, everything is coming together. The intents and purposes of the Yahweh Shai is being made known, and manifested throughout the earth. You know? So matter of fact, before we get started, let's start off with this. The second Ezra, the ninth chapter. Second Ezra 9. Second Ezra 9 1, it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. See, really, we've been waiting on this moment because these things talks about declaring the end from the beginning. So we have been anticipating these things to take place upon the famine, these pestilences, news there was another variant to come out, and the war. You know, that's the icing on the cake, pretty much. That's what's going to cement Esau's downfall. This war, and that's why we have see these other events arising, such as the MOTV. Verse 2 is said, Then shalt thou understand it is the very same time where the highest will begin to visit the world, which he may see now is becoming clearer. We want to well understand why, because we see things through the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Having that spirit of prophecy. It says as unto a light that shineth in a dark place. So now, by the grace of Yahweh Shai giving us this truth, we know the future. And we just hope to be delivered from these things, these death threats. Which the death threats is going to, we seeing the death threats being accomplished now. And ultimately, when the destruction takes place, that's when it's going to be. Matter of fact, the Lord said He's going to visit His work. It's that process as well, dealing with the prophets coming on the scene. But let me just get this real quick. Just going back, how the Lord and His death threats will be accomplished. And it was going to take place in a certain time. The end, which Esau have to be on the scene. All right, let me get it real quick. Revelation 16, I believe. God, this is it. Spirit. Revelation 16, I started verse 17. It says, And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. See? And when that seventh vial is poured out, that's concerning the destruction of America, World War III. It talks about that also in the book of Job. He shall deliver thee in city's troubles. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. That's concerning the second death, man. This third war. But as you can see, Angel said, "It is done. The Lord accomplished that which He pleased, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto He sent." When He sent a death threat, and as you can see, it was checked. It was confirmed. It is done. The destruction of America, and as you can see, this is recorded. It already happened, but now we seeing it playing out in real time, all the way to the perfection of the destruction. And the film continues, it says, "And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since man was upon earth. So mighty an earthquake, and so great." And what that's talking about, the destruction. When these missiles pelt the earth, this is what's going to bring forth this great earthquake. You know? Matter of fact, well, we're going to go back to this. But we'll go back to that second Ezra, the ninth chapter. In verse 3, it says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," and we seeing that, from literal earthquakes to earth-shaking events, as well as the uproars of the people's sedition, these different uh, protests. Well, this is a norm now. These different protests. For an example, you had over there in France, the Yellow Vest movement, and they was diligent, man. You know, motherfuckers were diligently protesting. Every week they would go online. During the Crown Week movement, but it's only increasing. That's why I said, "Man, shalt thou well understand." See, not because we hold fast to the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Things are unfolding according to what we believe. And it's now showing that our faith is fact. You know, the words of Yahweh Shai. It says, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." See? For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Now we seeing the end of Esau, the end of the so-called white man. It's beginning to manifest, you know, as these events take place throughout the earth. And now we seeing the spirit of war is increasing. This is what the Lord is going to use to uproot this man, to shake him out of his place. That's from that earthquake, man. And World War III is biblical. This is all according to the plans of Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Isaiah 6. No, it's Isaiah 9, Salakia. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood." And that's how ancient war was played out. It wasn't no such thing as drones and airstrikes. These are those terms of the day. You know, you have, as I said, drones and airstrikes. Why? Because the sword is on the scene for these things to take place. It talks about he was given a great sword. That's the blessing of Esau. And that's why when you read Revelation 9th chapter, it goes into World War One, which is another title for World War One. They call it the Great War. You got dog fighters and shit. The scriptures actually outline the dog fighters. That has never been seen on the earth since then. To mustard gas and these different forms of weapons and tanks. And as each world war came and went, the technology increased, and ultimately the end of World War II when you know America dropped them bombs on the Greeks. That was just a prelude to what's going to take place to America. That's why it says, "But this, meaning this battle, shall be with burning and fuel of fire." See, this battle, this war is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. That wouldn't make sense. That don't make sense in the Old Testament. You really look at it. You look at the Old Testament, you think, you know, the ancient world, and these people think is primitive. When they hear ancient, they just think primitive and sticks being rolled together to make a fire. But why it says fuel of fire? Because that's going to be from those missiles. It talks about how that flame, pretty much uh, brings it over here. That damn, what you call it? The propeller, not propeller, but that's the best way I can put it. But it's that it talk about that flame coming over here. But it said this battle concerning World War III is going to consist of burning and fuel of fire. And how would that take place by the way of this Third World War? Was going to bring forth this great earthquake. This is how the earth is literally going to shake, man, from this destruction. Matter of fact, I think that's also Isaiah 24 concerning the earthquake. Let's see, Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and 18, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open. That's the sign these missiles come out of the atmosphere back into the atmosphere. That's going to receive them warheads. That's going to be the last stage. The missiles going back to Revelation the 16th chapter talks about those hailstones as the weight of a talent. That's the last stage. John seen it just looked like the hailstone. That was just the warheads being deployed from that last stage. And that's what you're going to see. The last thing you're going to see, if you die, if you even make it there, because a lot of death is coming, man. This is just the icing on the cake, especially if you here in America. This land is destined. It is, decreed and foretold to be totally annihilated, totally destroyed, man. The whole land. And this is the tool the Lord have chosen to bring forth that. It says, "For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake." See? And the foundation of the earth now is America. The hammer of the earth, the foundation of the earth, that's America, man. But the whole earth is actually going to shake. That's why I said the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved, and also concerning the missiles, because when you hear destruction, you think it's just reckless and debris everywhere, and you might think of sheetrock and shit broken up. And no, see, this destruction actually going to bring forth. This is a cleansing process. This is how you're going to combat climate change, if it's such a thing, or chemtrails and the polluted air. The missiles are going to do that. The missiles are going to it's going to contribute to this cleanse from the wickedness and literally the things that's on the earth. You got trash islands, you got wires and shit underground. They all have to be rooted up. It says the earth is moved exceedingly. See, from this third war because America will get off certain missiles. So when they hit the other side of the world, of course, Israel will be hit. That land have to be cleansed. Probably some parts of Russia, but war is what's going to cause, the earth to shake back and forth, man. And as I mentioned earlier, as we get closer to the perfect day, the return of our Lord Yahushua, and us holding fast to the testimony of Yahushua, which is the spirit of prophecy, is making more sense. What else? What other conclusions can you come to when you read these scriptures, man? It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. See, yeah, because missiles be here in America, it's shaking on that side. Then once it gets to the parts of Russia, it's shaking on that end. This was going to cause that great earthquake, man. This world war. And you look in the news, and you are in tune to what's taking place to these worldly affairs. What other scenario would take place on the earth? It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. It shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So this destruction is what's going to bring forth this great earthquake. Matter of fact, I believe that's in Revelation as well. So that means I just, real swift, just going into how this earthquake, like just looking at the news, recently that, the spirit of war is increasing. The Apostle Hadad, the lesson concerning Zelensky, that sick freak, said that this is going to be the last war. And yes, it is. And how fitting the, the right players are on the scene, man. You Edomites, the sword themselves. So I started Revelation 11:11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's really concerning the elect being raised up from that dead state, man. You know, and now he's saying the raising up, standing upon our feet. And this is the beginning stages of our salvation. Lord raising us up from the dead, man. Having a dead outlook. It's kept us here in America. And now, as you can see, they're fearing all the money and resources and time. Shit they had a formula. The Willie Lynch letters. That was a formula, man. That was a recipe to keep us in front of the red. And in that, it said it was going to have to take a while for that chain to be broken. How shall I say? The truth shall set you free. So they showed this the beginning stages. But it's only going to increase. That's why it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. See, so us being raised up, it's not just going to stop from just us knowing we're Israelites, we're going back to our old customs. That raising up is going to be on all levels from our status. We're going to once again be the top nation on the earth. And even physically, we're going to be raised up. It says, and they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And that cloud is concerning so-called UFO, military term, UAP, the chariots of Yahweh Shah. That's the bit about salvation. That's going to be the only way we're going to get out of here concerning this destruction. You're not going to be able to drive out of here. The Lord is not going to split the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to walk from America. We got to walk through Africa to get it. No, the Lord is going to pluck us up from this place. That's going to be the only way to escape. It says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake. See? So this destruction and deliverance is going to be simultaneous. It says, in the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain the men 7,000, and the remnant were afraid and gave glory to the power of heaven. So as you can see, this great earthquake is going to bring forth the 10th part of the city, which is all of America. It's broken up in 10 parts, 10 FEMA zones, you know. But that's that earthquake. That's when, the missiles pelting this place, man. Matter of fact, it said the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. See, because that third woe is the third world war. That's what's going to bring that earthquake. I believe that's in. Matter of fact, we can wrap it up in Revelation. I think it's the 8th chapter. All right, I'm gonna jump down to 13, but I'm gonna start at start at 3. Revelation 8 and 3 says, and another angel came and stood at the altar having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before the Most High out of the angel's hand. So the prayers, the prayers of the saints, let's see what it consists of, man. It said, and the angel took the censer and filled it with the fire of the altar and casting it to the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and earthquakes. See? So, and that's what we pray for, this destruction, man, because that's what it is. You know, thunders and lightnings and laser beams, as well as that earthquake, which is concerning the destruction of this world war, man. I'm going to jump down to verse 13. It says, and I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth by the reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound. See, so it's woe, 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 which are the third world wars. And like I said, what other conclusion can you come to? The three woes, and it's always been rounded out to the three world wars. Because Einstein even said it, you know, the fourth, he said he didn't know what the third world war would be fought with, but he know the fourth was going to be fought with sticks and stone. Why? Because ultimately he know that was their curse. That was really a curse unto him. Our Lord Yahushua said that he did take the sword that perish with it, as well as Revelation 13, he that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. And who was blessed with it? Esau, man. So in Genesis 27, Isaac really put a curse on Esau when you really go into it, because that sword was going to cut him off from having to do a heaven, and dwelling, having fatness of the earth, being empowered. Him being empowered, that blessing of the sword was going to cut him off from that. And it's going to be by the way of the Third World War. So yeah, I just hope we edify, like give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rachah. That's I like to give the honors to the apostles and the elders who reveal stone. I like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching the word and all true faith and necessary. DTA about Sunni Garrison.